Cam, welcome. It's us. Oh God, it's Infinity. Oh no, Infinity us. It's Infinity us. Oh, buddy.
I'm getting sucked into the vortex.
Oh,
Hi.
bud. Hello, everybody. Hey, it's
Good
us.
morning.
We're here with we're making our tier TI4. These are the list of the best TI4 players of all time.
Yep.
This
Every
is
single player in the entire community.
so we have 50. We've gotten up to 50 players in the community now, and we're excited because hey, Absol, you're in this. That's good that we have our first person in chat that is also in the thing, because we just picked 50 people.
Yeah.
To rank because, well, for two reasons. First of all, stealing all your Discord profile pictures is actually kind of takes some time. It probably took me an hour to get these together because you got to go inspect Element and then like find the Discord URL where your profile picture is hosted.
Gross.
Does that make me creepy? Is that creepy that I did that? That I
That's
just
real
did
weird.
that?
Very weird. You could have just written names down and made like a JPEG.
No, I wanted the images. Okay, I wanted to steal your profile pictures, so I went through them all and I stole them. But yeah, hey, so how you doing today, Matt? How are you?
I'm good. Baby is currently sleeping. Oh, spoke too soon. Looking at the baby monitor, I can see a tiny little baby head kind of moving around. She'll probably be being fed during some of this stream. So Molly will be making an appearance. She's literally as I started to give a check-in on Molly, she started to pop up. So
oh, yay.
Anywho,
why isn't there just always a Molly cam built
My
into
house.
your OBS or your computer so that I can
I should
always
rig
see
that.
Molly?
Yeah, that would be good.
I do. I actually feel like me and Molly, our relationship has kind of changed. I feel like we're kind of rivals now for your attention,
Rivals for my attention,
and
yeah.
affection. Okay, but enough goofing around. We actually have a lot to do today in general, so let's get through this stupid joke real quick. Like
this thing we promised to do for actually, I don't. This is the one where it's like, listen, former Hunter Donaldson fan club. I don't know what you got into, like what you thought this was gonna be, but whatever we're doing today, it ain't it.
yeah, no. This is not it. But let's go over the tiers real quick. We'll try and explain them. This is in no particular order, except for it's an absolute order, absolute tier, but not. It's just a joke. Don't worry about it. So the top tier, or bottom, depending on how you look at it, because everyone has different perspectives. The top tier is liked us before we were cool. These are people that kind of jumped on the ship really early. These would be your of the nerdiest nerds.
Yeah, right.
In our community.
These are the people who were refreshing the FFG forums every day before we had a show and saw our show pop, and it's like, oh, okay, you're hot on the trigger there, huh? Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
The people who built the show, really.
Right. And who we should insult the most today.
Yeah.
So the next tier is my wife.
You're gonna have to explain that one.
These are just people that when I hang out with them online, I feel like, a sense of my wife, like my like if
makes sense.
God forbid we torch the show, and I don't mean end it, but just we're just we just go on. We just have an episode where we're just we hate TI. We're done with this game. It's stupid. We don't want to play it anymore.
Right.
These are the people these are my besties beyond that.
Yeah, we'll hang out with them.
Right.
Connor, can you check my audio? I turned my gain down a little bit, but you may have to boost me on your end. But I think I was probably peaking. Root gave me a shout out in chat saying I was not sounding very good.
Actually, maybe it's me. But yeah, here. Okay. Is that better?
We're down a monitor for Hunter right now, too, so we keep having to let you peek behind the curtain.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So there you go. You got to see it all right there. All right, are we going to rank each other in this? No. Okay, where was that? Oh, yeah, so I just explained the my wife tier. Then there's the do you even play this game tier.
Which that might sound like an insult, but it's actually not. It's just the people that absolutely deserved shoutouts, but I've literally never seen you play TI.
And I don't know for sure that they do. And I don't care. I don't care. In fact, this tier, the do you even play this game tier, probably the coolest people that we got
Right.
because they're managing to hang out, not even playing the silly board game, as far as I could tell. You know what I mean? These are the coolest people that we know, basically. And then Matt, maybe you can handle this next tier. What is that next one there?
The next one is people I have yelled at. I would, if I were to actually quantify this tier, this is people who always have something to say, always have like a take, are very, very adamant on giving errata, and I'm not very good at receiving errata. So in Discord, I yell at them.
Right.
So this is the people Matt has yelled at tier. I think there's a couple people we absolutely know are in that, but I think there will be some surprises.
Yeah. And then, of course, we've got the bottom tier, people who will inherit the show. These are people that really should just have the show, that I think should do it. Like, we should quit and they should do it. I don't want to be mistaken,
too, for, like, the best players tier, because it's not just the best players. It's, like, the people who are really good at talking about the show and, like, doing stuff, too. Like, are also good at making it, and they should take over when we're... This is our you should do content, probably, tier. Yeah, that's nice. So they're all, you can see, they're all nice, really, except for... No, the people Matt has yelled at is actually kind of a nice one. But let's go ahead and start. We got 50 of these to do. And also, like, obviously, we only did 50, so we know that we missed people. We are going to tag other people we'll
other people
to others as we go. You'll get more shout outs than are available in these photos below.
Yeah. Some of you we will just say that you are enough like another person that you are also them as well. But let's start. This is a good place to start. We're going to start at the beginning. 9 of Spades is our first TI4 player that we are going to rank. Now, we did not create a tier for skill.
Right.
But if we did, he'd probably go in that.
Which is weird. I know that probably sounds weird for a tier list ranking players. There is no skilled at the game tier.
Yeah.
I'm tempted to put Spades in my wife or people who will inherit the show. I'm not sure where they go between those two.
I'm very much on a people who will inherit the show.
Yeah, I think so.
Tag.
You're probably right.
For 9. Because 9 is but 9 is also, though, here's the other thing, is I would imagine that 9 is too cool, or maybe just too busy, to actually inherit the show. But does he have what it takes? I think so.
Yeah, the other thing I know about Spades is he had a baby last year and has very much not played the game very much. Now, he did still get some games in, but he's kind of in my boat of, like, I think we both belong in the do you even play this game tier. He and I as new fathers.
Yeah, that's funny though. Yeah, it's like first, or like old school 9, people will inherit the show. Where he's at now, do you even play this game?
Right.
But that feels weird for me to say because I was gonna play with him like a week ago.
Well, he's doing split sessions, so I think that firmly puts him into he will inherit the show someday.
All right, people will inherit the show. There you are, 9, and maybe I feel like someday 9 might graduate to my wife.
Yeah.
But definitely can't be a like just before we were cool. We know that he plays, and Matt would never yell at Spades.
I'm gonna before we dip into Absol, I'm gonna go grab the baby. Be right back.
You have to get the baby. All right, baby. And next is Absol. Okay, good. 9. I'm glad you agree with our ranking of you. I realize people who will inherit the shows feels kind of open. It's a little. They're all kind of open. I can only make 5. Also, hey, look, there's like an ad underneath my. Look at that. I'm streaming an ad. Isn't that cool? I'll hide that now. Oh, hey, thank you, Paul. Thank you for gifting a sub to Root. Whoa, this is my friends are giving my friends presents. This is beautiful. What could be better than that? Let's see who's someone I can rank without Matt. EJ's. I have EJ. Okay, there we go. He's back now.
I have returned.
Hello, Molly.
I have a baby in a cute pajamas.
Ooh, baby cute pajamas.
Okay. Absol.
Absolutely. I would put Absol in Do You Even Play This Game, but I have played with Absol, so that doesn't make sense.
Well, and also Absol is like like reigning champion of all things lore, and I don't know what category that puts her in.
So Absol has some tones of "Do you even play this game?" with just the like general being on the Discord a lot. Except for we have played with Absol. I think Absol is the first. My wife.
Oh God, that feels weird to do.
I don't care. That's how I feel. Absol can't be like this before we were cool, because I haven't known about Absol in a while. Matt, would you ever yell at Absol?
No, God, no.
Now, okay, is Absol and other people will inherit the show thing though?
I don't think so.
But let me push back though a little bit and say that if this tier also kind of encompasses a hey, you should also do content thing, I think Absol, there's a lot of people getting into the TI lore business of putting stuff out there, and some of it's great, some of it's really good.
Yeah.
Then there's some of it that is also existing. I think if Absol did a lore project, it would rock.
Yeah.
Hardcore.
Yeah, I think we have to. I think Absol, if we're going to put Absol and people who will inherit the show, Absol has to absorb the Beyond the Board stuff, which now I'm failing to remember their actual Discord username, because all I can think of is their or is it not? It's not Beyond the Board.
We're going to find out.
Chief Lore Officer. Chief our CLOs. Chief Lore Officer.
I do want to strictly say though, I feel like it's borderline. Like I want Absol to know that when I think about Absol, it's borderline my wife.
That's an important distinguishing factor.
Absol, you need to know that. You're almost there. You're almost in that elite club of my wife. But no, I like this lore angle better.
Man, what is I gotta find their username, and I feel terrible for not remembering it. But I'm also,
I don't know who you're talking about.
As Hunter will remark, as we were going through all these profile pictures, I just forget names, like of people who I know their name, but like I can't remember the name.
That's a wild development to me, because you spend so much. I mean, everybody knows you're the one on the Discord all the time.
Yeah, I know, but I still forget names constantly. Like you could show me Root's profile picture, and I'd be like,
who is that?
Alec, but his profile name is what is it?
Are you talking about Airdane? They're saying Airdane.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't even know who that is.
The one that makes the like ridiculously incredible lore videos, like does their own research, digs in. It's like crazy how good their lore videos are. So Airdane and Absol both kind of together get put into the people who will inherit the show category, I think, because they are our lore gods and will long surpass us in relevance.
Of course. All right. So our next person is Aptronymic, which I think I just
Atronymic.
I
don't know.
Aptronymic. Now, the thing about Aptronymic is I don't know if he plays, but he probably does. But all I really know him for are those sweet,
very, very, very good
TI posters. The like one in this, they're in the style. They're like World War II posters. I'm sure a lot of people know what we're talking about.
He put out a new one recently that is Nas Roka as a old Bond movie poster.
Oh my God, I haven't seen that. That sounds amazing,
Hunter. I'll try to find it while we're talking through some stuff, because it's maybe his best. Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, he's. I think he's on. Do you even play this game?
Yeah. Yeah.
In the best way that you can be. In the best kind of
way. You're doing better work than playing this game.
Right. Okay. Aviator. Here we go. Aviator. Where are we putting Aviator? You've never yelled at him.
No, I don't think so. An Aviator is...
I feel like when I think about Aviator, I'm like, this is my wife. That's what I think. Me and Aviator. I don't know if you and Aviator have a kind of my wife vibe, but...
I don't know. So Aviator was a part of our tourney mods. So we've had lots of correspondence with Aviator about all sorts of things, like even from like a production standpoint.
That's true.
And Aviator is a significantly more accomplished map maker than myself. Like Aviator releases like crazy map packs. So I'm almost more inclined to put him in the people who will inherit the show category.
Oh,
But
I see.
I see the argument for my wife.
I know that in my heart, I feel he's not here. I don't think. Otherwise, he'd be shouting. But
I'm linking you to the most recent Aptronymic post.
I'll say actually here. Let me throw this out here. So
link it in Twitch chat too, so people can see it.
There was a game of Sardak Nor that I played that where Aviator was in the chat, and he pushed me to do one particular thing that I would have never done normally, and it won me the game. So I've always had this feeling of like I have a W that really is just Aviators, and I feel like that you only get that with my wife.
Yeah, I think we can put him there. I think that's a good category.
I think it's just my favorite category, and I'm trying to put everybody.
I don't think he has any desire to create like show style content. He just makes loads and loads and loads of maps and likes to work behind the scenes.
Yeah, I've also played a lot. I end up being, when I play with Aviator, I end up being his neighbor like a majority of the time. Okay, all right, we got a big one. This is a big moment.
Uh-oh.
Right.
I know where Billy thinks he belongs.
Where does Billy think he belongs? Whoa, what a weird way to start.
If you asked Billy would say, "Oh, I'm people mad as yelled at."
Oh, right. Sure.
Here's the thing. I have yelled at Billy significantly less than Billy, I think, feels like I've yelled at him, because we have cursed his name for the terrible maps he's made us play on in the past.
Right.
But that's not the kind of yelling I'm really talking about when I talk about people who Matt has yelled at.
Right. Has Billy liked us long enough to have liked us before we were cool?
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, Billy was like the second Space Kitty, maybe.
And he was the first Weird Bear. That's got to be worth the liked us before we were cool. I think that is where he belongs.
But as Root points out, that Billy, if we don't put Billy and my wife, we've done something I think maybe abhorrent. That might be unethical to not put Billy and my wife.
See, to me, my wife, the difference between my wife and liked us before we were cool is the before we were cool part. You know, everyone who liked us before we were cool, most of these people are my wife, but I think
I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, I think Billy is in that hollowed ground of been
like this before we
signed on early,
and it goes further. We should almost give Billy special treatment of, you know what? Actually, this is where I want to lump in our first person we didn't put a profile picture for, but Jada and Billy both are.
Jada
not just like us before we cool, but like crazy supported us before we were cool.
Right.
We did not deserve. We still don't deserve the level of support Billy gives us, and we definitely didn't deserve the level of support Billy gave us when he first started supporting us.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely a like this before we were cool.
Yeah. All right. Next is this is Binks. Where do we put Binks?
Yeah. So Jillian R Banks and I have so many interesting conversations together because I think we mentally are the same person in how we play.
Yes, very similar.
And in that way, like I don't yell at Jillian R Banks. I typically agree with like his take.
If we had a tier though that was people Hunter has contemplated yelling at, Binks would fit that just because he plays so similar to you. Go ahead.
Let me finish my point too. Jillian R Banks, I think I see Jillian R Banks kind of as myself. And let me tell you, I've yelled at myself a lot.
Yeah, right.
So as a conduit, I think Jillian R Banks gets to go into people Matt has yelled at.
Oh my God, yes. Our first people Matt has yelled at. Yes. There you go, Binks. You found something out. You learned something right there.
Yeah, I think he is Titan Binks now. I don't know. He changes his names a lot, but it's Binks.
Yeah, sorry. Binks is the thing that ties it all together. Okay, next one is super easy.
Yeah.
We got Blark Knob Daddy, if you've been listening for a long time. And Blark Knob goes all the way up here, with a bullet.
Yeah, Blark Knob, within us having a show for maybe a month, was like, hey, I do a tournament at Gen Con. Do you guys want to cover it? And we were like, oh, I guess that could be like a whole thing our show is centered around. I guess we could just like make that a major... Like the reason we started the Patreon is because Blark Knob reached out to us asking us to come to Gen Con.
Right.
That's the level of impact Knob Daddy has had on the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
So big deal. Big shout out to Blark Knob.
Yeah, Blark Knob, you rule.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, our first off-brand. We're dipping into. I mean, BotBot plays TI. We played.
Right.
We played TI with BotBot, right? But
yes.
BotBot is nowadays significantly more well known for being a part of the Root Tournament Council and being an avid Root player.
Yeah.
So this makes it a little bit trickier, I think, to know where they end up.
There's a couple Root Council people on this list, and I know where they're not all going to go to the same place. And I'm going to make an argument that BotBot was the first one to reach out in this kind of general group, and I believe
BotBot was already a patron, like already at whatever tier that, you know, I don't remember how long BotBot has been like a part of the GYB or whatever, but I know that even when we were first doing hints of talking about Root, BotBot was like, yes, Root, let's do Root stuff. I want to talk about Root. I want to contribute to Root conversation.
Yep.
So yeah, that's almost a liked us before we were cool. Like liked the Root side of our show before.
That was the argument.
That side of our show.
Was exactly the argument I was going to make. And you know, the other Root Tournament Council people won't be quite in the same boat just because he was first. Right. But I think BotBot goes up here. Yeah. Liked us before we were cool. In a Root sense, he liked our Root vibes before we were cool. All right, Brian. Brian has also liked us for a long time.
Brian has liked us for a long time. I could see him going and liked us before we were cool. But here's the thing. What's funny about Brian is I think Brian was one of the first people that was somebody I yelled at frequently. Yes. Now, I don't yell at Brian very much at all anymore.
Right.
But back in the day, I mean, Brian has always had the same theme, which is I will point out stuff that you didn't say on the show.
Right.
And the response is always, I didn't have time to bring up every weird side case, but that's all Brian ever thinks about is every conceivable weird scenario.
But the way I think about Brian now is sort of like, what do they call it when you're bowling and you're like a kid and you have those things that stop you from getting in the gutter?
Put the bumpers up?
What do they call them? What are they called?
I thought they were called bumpers. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, so that you put, to me, Brian is our bumper, because I just know now that I don't have to get that specific or even really do a good job, because I'm like, well, Brian will set it straight.
Do it, yeah.
So it's fine. No one will get confused. So yeah, maybe like a year ago, Brian would have belonged firmly in people Matt has yelled at. But honestly, these days,
here's the way I'll word it. Here's the way I'll word it. Brian, I yelled at before it was cool.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's true. But honestly, these days I kind of feel a sense of my wife with Brian. I think at
all the weird bears just gonna end up, besides Billy, are most of the weird bears gonna end up in my wife?
Probably something like that, unless you've yelled at them. But actually, though, the more classic Brian way to think, I think, is people that Matt has yelled at.
Yeah, if we're gonna put them in people as Matt has yelled at, I would like to take another opportunity to lump someone in here. And it's funny because they're chiming in chat, but I was gonna say this before they even chimed in. But Jensen was gone for a long hiatus. But Jensen and Brian were the two that were always popping into errata conversation. Like, if I was yelling at Brian, I was also yelling at Jensen at the same time.
Right, Jensen, you would be a people Matt has yelled at for sure.
Yes, with a bullet. We didn't have your picture in this one, but you and Brian both go into this category together at the same time.
Yes. Okay. Cages is the next. Cages, though, there's not really anything to discuss, because I truly don't know if Cages plays these games.
Cages came into the Discord hot, just started posting like crazy. And everyone, there was a day, now I say this with absolute love, and I said this at the time too, there was like a day and a half where people were like, this person's posting a lot and posting a lot of anime emojis. What's going on with that? And my, like, they would direct message me like, hey, what's going on with the person posting so much? I was like, I don't care. I love it. she's posting all the time. They're posting all the time. Like whatever. They recently changed they were Kecha. They're Kecha in Twitch chat right now, but Cages just came in posting up a storm and continues to this day to be like one of the most active members of our Discord. And I think firmly is in a, do you even play this game?
Yeah, that's perfect. All right. Callowin. I mean, I don't really have anything to talk about because Callowin is my wife.
Okay.
I mean,
can you explain it? I mean, I'm right there with you, but
okay. Callowin is probably the most. Well, there's a couple other people that I would kind of throw into this same conversation, but if I just want to play a game, I probably. And it's not, it's not like a Bubba Cool's Chill Zone game, or there's not some sort of specific goal. It's like, oh, I just want to play. Yeah. And I'm just thinking, I'm going through my Rolodex in my head of who I could play with. I pretty much always want to know what Callowin is doing. Like it's a lot of, you up texts that Callowin gets
right
from me.
Yeah. You know what I want to do here? I want to lump a few people into this Callowin category for me because Callowin, I don't play with Callowin often enough, but I've literally enjoyed every game Callowin has ever been in. I want to put Callowin in the category of like, well, I'm about to say this, but there's one of them I have to put somewhere else. But Callowin and I was gonna say Jimbov, but Jimbov probably isn't a like this before we cool category more than anything. And I wanted to say, there's somebody else I was just thinking of that, like all these people that I just like want to play with all the time. Even there's like that whole our first.
I'm hearing a lot of arguments for my wife.
No, they're firmly in my wife, but there's a bunch of other. I want to like give shout outs to some other wives, basically.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I feel like Jim Bob. I feel like. Well, we're gonna get some of. I keep forgetting that some of them are in here because I was gonna.
Well, okay, so
Callowin is my wife.
Yeah, sure. Callowin.
Callowin. I do that every time.
Yeah, me too. I don't. It's sorry, bud. Jimbov, I want to say for sure is liked us before we were cool, though.
Yes,
because that's he just goes way back. Oh, and also speaking of liked us before we were cool, we got Kraken. This is Kraken's Discord thing. Now, Kraken could go a couple different ways, because I know Kraken has had ambitions to do content himself.
Yeah, and made some cool, like, I mean, Kraken did all of the tournament photo updates. Like, as people were winning, Kraken was doing the, like, map of who all has won in what slice, and then at the end of the prelims, did, like, a whole video, like, walking people through what happened in the prelims, and Kraken does a lot of time-lapse stuff of their games. So I could see Kraken going into the people who will inherit the show, but I feel like I would rather see them in the like this before we were cool category.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. It's been so long. We've been doing this show for so long, and I'm glad it's finally over. Anyways, next one is Dark Jutsu. I played a lot with Dark Jutsu for a while. I haven't played with Dark Jutsu recently, but sometimes what happens, there's another person in here that is kind of similar to this. Sometimes what happens is I'll just get like a run where I will just play with the same person over and over, and I don't know if it's that they're just like really free to play for a while. But Dark Jutsu was that, where it felt like for like weeks and weeks, every game I played with Dark Jutsu, and there was very much some my wife feelings.
Okay.
And this is a me one, because I don't know that you've ever played.
I haven't because I've been out of commission of playing as much recently. I haven't gotten to get the games in with Dark Jutsu.
Okay. Next one is Daryl, who has helped us
changed our lives
mods so much. Yeah. I think Daryl firmly belongs in a people who will inherit the show.
Yeah, it's an interesting way to put it too, because I don't think Daryl is like a video content person, but if it's like a people who will inherit the community, I think people who will inherit the show is more like a super notable community organizers and members.
Yes.
Is what that category really is. So yeah, Daryl is people who will inherit the show as basically the there's lots of people that Daryl represents too in this moment of mod coders, and I probably couldn't even list them all. Raptor, if Raptor's in chat, maybe Raptor could throw out a bunch of names. Raptor's gonna come up later too himself, but there's like a long list of folks that have done a lot for the mod, but Daryl obviously I think ranks far above that all of them in terms of the amount of time he has contributed to the mod, and not just the mod, to our stuff too. Daryl helped us do, I mean, he did it for the community, but the way our spreadsheet automatically updates these days is mostly due to like Daryl and Milty's contributions. So yeah.
Monty's asking, is there any order to these tiers, or are they just 5 categories? As we covered at the beginning, these are not ordered, except in our hearts. So not ordered at all. They're just 5 separate categories, unless you're going by heart, in which case they are 5 tiers.
There is an order that we won't tell you.
Yes. Yes, there's an imaginary heart order that we're also making in a separate spreadsheet that you can't see. All right. Duke Lukem is next. Duke Lukem could take over our show tomorrow, honestly. If I got the email, he said it's time.
I graduated college and I would like to have the show now. So okay, cool. Actually, I have a whole bit planned for this.
What's your bit here?
I have to set my baby down to do. No, I don't. Here. All right. I specifically wore this sweater this morning.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It's what I wore during the finals that Duke Lukem won, because I was there to represent Duke and Micmac Moose for jolly old London, England town. So yeah, Duke is like easily people who will inherit the show. Yeah. And you know what? We'll lump in Flat Tomatoes there too.
Yes, of course.
The 2 of them are basically
great team.
The people who should just be the people who stream TI and not us.
Right. Yes. Yeah, they remind me of these 2 guys I know that talk about TI all the time. Anyways, next one is our personal friend EJ and Lackey. And we yell at him. I will say he gets yelled at. He does get yelled at because he's in that. Okay, so he's in that like kind of family tier where, when you're so close to someone, you can really be a little shit to them, like because you're close, they can't stop being your friend no matter what you do, However, personally, the relationship between, so I feel like me and you have slightly different relationships with EJ.
Okay.
In that, for me, he's a slam dunk my wife, because me and him have a meta together of just playing sweet.
Stop Matt from winning at all costs.
No, it actually isn't Matt directed. It's more about raising each other up. You just interpret that as stop Matt from winning.
Well, if I'm in the game, it works against me, so it always feels that way.
Well, you're not invited to the party, so I do get why you would feel this way. But
I'm still also going to put EJ and my wife. There's no one
else. Then that's a EJ, my wife confirmed.
Yeah.
All right. Next one is Squeamish Emu. Yeah, who I play with also all the time. Mm-hmm. I don't feel like there's really any contests here. I think Emu is my wife, so I don't really know.
So what I'm learning is all the people that in the last year you've just played a lot with, you wanna kiss them all and love on them and make them your wife. That's
well, yeah, I guess there's this category. I guess by the end of this, a lot of
space kid. This is the Space Kitty tier. Is what it's starting to turn into.
It's different than that.
Our Jutsu.
It's different than that. All right. However, that being said, Organist is kind of my wife. Yeah. No, Fargo is definitely Fargo. It actually should be like this. Fargo. Here, I'm going to start ordering them within the tier. Sure. EJ can be last. It's like that. Because Fargo is my. He calls me his good luck charm though, because Fargo always beats me. Also, Fargo's not here today, but hey, shout out to Fargo. All right, now we have FH don't at me, Faustian Hero don't at me.
Yeah.
I just noticed I was trying to find people that post a lot on the Discord.
Right.
I don't know if FH don't at me plays.
FH is FH is either do you even play this game or people Matt has yelled at, but FH is more he's yelled at everybody else on the Discord because he's probably the most persistent member of, we renamed a channel because of him, basically.
Right, yes.
The politics channel become politics or the philosophical dilemma regarding the consumption and production of livestock. And that is purely due to FH's contributions to that channel.
Yeah, yes.
And FH is very consistently in Twitch chat. I'll say that much
right,
too.
For sure.
And as a Twitch chat contributor, I kind of want to lump the Humble Checkmate into this.
Oh, right. Yes.
Humble Checkmate and FH, I feel like, are two that are always hanging out in Twitch chat. To where maybe they both belong in people Matt has yelled at, I think, together.
Maybe.
Because I yell at Twitch chat when I play a lot. And
That's true.
I have I know I've banned Humble Checkmate, and I've probably timed FH out before.
Really? That's how you do it?
Raucous when it's my Twitch chat. When I'm in charge, Hunter, people get.
That's so funny. I never ban anybody. I'm just like,
Humble Checkmate's ban was meant to be a timeout, and I missed. I clicked the wrong button.
That's funny. All right. Well, next we have. Speaking of Twitch chat, next we have Ginger, who hangs out.
You put FH in. Do you play this game? I want him in. People Matt has yelled at.
All right. We'll put him in people Matt has yelled at. Okay, don't yell at me.
And I agree that the milk argument I had with FH will always be one of my more memorable SCPT moments. FH was not allowed, or somebody was not allowing people to call almond milk or oat milk milk.
Oh, I've heard this argument before.
And this was a.
It's juice.
For some reason,
it's almond juice, right?
Argument where people were actually getting invested in yelling at each other over milk. So people cried over spilt milk for a good week and a half. All right, here we are.
It's Ginger time.
Turn.info is already in the chat.
Yeah. Is it Ginger's turn?
This is the easiest placement of all time.
Oh yeah, it's people Matt has yelled at. Is that what you're saying?
What would you say?
I would say it's people. If there was a tier for people Hunter has yelled at, I'm pretty sure Ginger would sit there by himself. I'm pretty sure that would just be Ginger's spot. However, I have a weird appreciation for Ginger's relentless backseat gaming in Twitch. Like, I like that because the way that I feel when I play and Ginger is watching, it's like an old married couple. Where I have to, where it's like you get
that. Not right now. Matt, come on, I'm busy.
The reaction is just like Ginger always has a knee-jerk reaction to whatever it is I'm doing in a given game. Now, a lot of times Ginger is checking in and out, and I know this because Ginger is the type of person that will see my board state and miss the thing that just happened, which is why I'm now making the decision that I am making. So it does feel like that, that kind of bittery old couple bickering, I should say. Yeah. But this is definitely people Matt has yelled at, for sure.
Ginger is also in this category for getting yelled at for coming in, having a hot take about a card or something, and then being told, Ginger, that's not how that ability works at all. And he will rail against people for like how this thing should work and all the theory behind it. And it's like, no. It says when, not after, dude. And he's like, oh, okay, cool. All right. Sorry. Never mind. You know, he backpedals good enough. You know, he
does. Yeah.
When he's wrong or whatever. So that, no harm, no foul. But there are
honestly, now that I think about it, because I feel like if I had any strength or value, it would be that I am frequently wrong and okay with it. Yeah, right. And I think that's a good quality to have in a person to mess up a lot all the time.
Right.
But just be like, I messed up. Uh-huh.
So when you added all these profile pictures, there was clearly a moment where you were thinking of people I've yelled at, because we have another one here. This is Hippie Peace Turtles, formerly known as Necro Firewall. and probably the least deserving of me yelling at them, because all they've ever done is play really, really well in Goodyin Brotherhood games.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's literally their only crime against humanity is playing really, really well and winning all the time.
Right.
And yet
you yelled
at them a lot.
Yeah,
and I hope Sam knows that it's all that it is all with love, even though it doesn't always sound like it.
I'll say this: if I had an extra tier that was people that have come to see me do, if you guys remember before COVID, I was a stand-up comedian. Now I don't know what I am, but before I was a comedian, and Hippie Peace Turtles came to see me perform along
Hippie
with
Peace Turtles is also the one that Root and I got locked. Root is also telling the story in Twitch chat, but we played at Gen Con, and I had, no joke, at least a 30-minute long, if not 45-minute long negotiation with them. Like no progress in the game. We couldn't come to a deal, and he would not let it go. Obviously, his whole game.
That's on both of you, by the way, Matt. Like,
sure. Oh, of course, of course. Although I will say, I was the one who kept trying to get out of it. It was like, no, wait, come here. Okay, what about this? What about this though? Okay, hang on.
So it sounds like it's even more your
fault.
And then
he did the same thing to Alec after talking to me, like further negotiations. It's just like, yeah. Absol's first GYB game was
oh my god.
Okay, here's the thing that happened. This is why I always yelled at Hippie Peace Turtles. There would be a new Goodyin Brotherhood member who's like, hi, I've played like 4 times and I joined the Goodyin Brotherhood because I want to support the show. And it's like, all right, we're going to do a game. And then Hippie Peace Turtles is like, cool, I'm available, I'll play. And then they come in like it's the tournament finals, like extorting people and like making these crazy deals. And the number of times I played games against Hippie Peace Turtles where I saw him exploiting a new player, not in like a unethical way, but in just a like, I have to combat him, like I have to get on the other side of it, right? I have to also come to this new player and like barrage them with no, don't listen to his lies, don't believe his lies, please.
And then it's hard because people generally, when they play with us, I feel like where you start with people when we play with a new person is don't believe our lies.
Exactly.
Like,
well, and especially because Hippie Peace Turtles is the one coming to the table and being like, hey, listen, I want to help you out.
Yeah.
How about you give me 4 Spades and I'll do this little thing for you. And I'm in the corner going, no, this is terrible. You cannot. And I'm screaming and being aggressive.
He's such a reliable grifter, though, Matt. Yeah. Like his grift ability is super reliable.
Yeah.
We used to call, when Schroeder is also somebody that isn't on this list, but totally should be. Schroeder would probably be in a, I don't know, actually. Probably people who will inherit the show. Schroeder could easily do the show. But when we first were watching Schroeder and admiring his meta style, we called him the used car salesman of TI, which actually stuck for a while, and I felt a little bad about because I didn't actually feel like that was a very didn't actually sum up his strengths that well. I would call Hippie Peace Turtles the used car salesman of TI because it's like he sells you a car and then you drive it off the lot and that thing's got bugs in the guts,
right?
Like
suddenly there are only 3 wheels and you don't know how you didn't notice that before.
Right. Oh yeah. Also, the Schroeder carrot thing that is a legendary bit for our show, in my opinion. That's one of the funniest things that's ever happened. That doesn't have anything to do with me or Matt. It's not something super hilarious I said, bit. That's Schroeder's bit that he added to the canon of SCPT bits. Beautiful. Oh, okay. Next player. This is super easy. This is Imson, who is literally my wife. Like, I'm not even. We got married and everything. It's not even a
public thing.
There's not even. This isn't even a debate so much as this is just like a hello, sweetie. Do
they go next to Farganus? Like they get kind of bumped up to the top of that one.
Yeah, they're in the top of that tier. Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah, Imson.
Imson would also get to be a people who inherit the show based on all, like, literally,
totally
we have multiple guides where an entire section is based on Imson pre-errata. Like, we didn't think of the thing that Imson thought of, and Imson's thing was so good we had to include it.
Yeah.
That has happened on multiple occasions, so basically co-writer of the show, Imson.
Right. Okay. John. This is someone that has some my wife characteristics. Definitely. Love playing with John. Also some liked us before we were cool stuff. I think just because of John's kind of infamous first game in our first tournament it's a big moment, I feel like, in the history of the show and everything. And just the way it's all played out with John and Patience was all super entertaining. Also, I feel like I've learned a lot about the game through John's experience in competitive TI.
Lots of useful conversations about win making.
Yes.
Because of situations John has been in.
Yes. So I don't know. I'm kind of torn. I like can't decide. It's to me it's my wife or liked us before we were cool. Could even
I think
go ahead.
I think John belongs in liked us before we were cool.
Yeah.
I feel pretty good about that. I mean I could even make an argument for putting John in people who will inherit the show, but
right.
He's kind of all over the place. I mean he's a pretty impactful role.
Yeah.
Ooh, Binks is calling out Quantum Octopus and Volverbot.
Yes.
Yeah, where would they go? I kind of want to lump them in somewhere.
Quantum if there was like my friend, but like in like a suggestive tone. I feel like Quantum would go there in like a waiting room to be my wife. Because I love playing with Quantum, but players like Quantum almost deserve their own tier because Quantum is a like chaotic, silly, like R-Wise and like Quantum are like some of the funniest people in the community.
Yeah, I really do. It's funny that we're doing basically no skilled tiers, but I would put them in a like in a category that is like crazy to watch. Category.
Kind of Joker, Clown Prince of Crime type people. Okay, we got another root person. This is Justin K. Justin K has helped a lot with the Root Tournament Council. I'm also gonna say this is Garrick.
Justin and Garrick together. Okay.
Oh, whoops! I mean Guerick. Whoops! I actually said his name right. That's wrong. So I'm gonna lump Justin and Garrick together. I feel like I could make an argument for my wife. I feel like I could make an argument for people who will inherit the show. I mean, definitely like Justin, Garrick, Bot, and Marcus the Cat are like the people that I play Root with the most.
Yeah.
So that has a certain my wife aspect to it. But also been really helpful with behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
Running the tournament.
People who inherit the show.
Yeah, I think especially
basically Justin K and Garrick. A few others, but those two especially deserve a Root show. Like they should just do a Root podcast, and a Root stream show. I mean, they Garrick did the Root Winter Tournament, and got every game streamed and put it all on YouTube. I mean, it's like he's done a Root show. He's done it already, so could easily inherit the doing Root content stuff. Has inherited, is doing it.
Yes,
nothing to inherit.
Yes,
is just a partner in crime at this point.
Yes. All right. Next is I Am Katie, which I feel like I can make an argument for. There's two tiers I can make an argument for.
Yeah.
Because Katie goes back to like when we first started really messing with Discord enough to, I feel like, almost be a liked us before we were cool. But also Katie's contributions to moderating the tournament last year, also kind of a biggie there. So I don't know. You could kind of go two directions with Katie.
Right.
Well, I will say this. And also, though, I know Katie plays, but I've never played. Actually, that's not true. I played one time.
Right. We've seen her games in at least one. I think 2 tournaments. No, she didn't play in 2019. I don't think, but she did in 2020.
I think the moderating achievements are what I want to lean into the most, though, and say this is a people who will inherit the show.
I agree.
I think that's correct. All right, Magi.
Yeah,
the
finger.
The archetypal, the prototype for the TI player. You know, that's what I think of. Is like Magi is the proto Space Cats person, and is definitely a liked us before we were cool.
Yes,
with a bullet. Yeah. I think also was Magi the first person that we like met in real life and knew, oh, that's that person.
Yes.
Online, basically.
Yeah, our first Gen Con, I recall hanging out at the TI tables and talking about the games with Magi specifically, and being like, "Yes, you are Magi. You are you are Paul. We know you."
Oh, that's fair. Someone's pointing out that I didn't make Magi my wife, and I think that's the difference between like just before we were cool and my wife. You know, that's the difference there.
Like just before we were cool is deeper.
Yeah.
You know,
it's more of an achievement, whereas if you're my wife, you're just, you know, you're my wife, that's it. Speaking of which, Mantis, my wife, come on that's easy. Mantis is my wife that always beats me in the games, always.
You know, I'm gonna make a weird argument.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to put Mantis in Do You Even Play This Game? Because I think Mantis is playing a different game than everyone else when he plays this game. I don't know what Mantis does, and that's true of every game I see Mantis play.
I'm not gonna let that stand.
Like, are you playing the same thing as us?
I'm not gonna let that stand. No. I could maybe see an argument for like just before we were cool, but I don't know. Do we have any like really early? I wouldn't be surprised if we went back and found like some really early.
Well, apparently Mantis has a secret Reddit account, so I have no idea how long Mantis has been commenting on Reddit posts.
Oh, that's a good point. Oh yeah, I heard he has a secret Reddit account so that he can be a SCPT hater on Reddit, and then not that on other places. Which that's a good way to do it. That's a beautiful way to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, next is Marcus the Cat. I've tried to split the Root Tournament Council up. Like Bot is in like just before we were cool. I feel like Marcus the Cat. Well, but is Marcus the Cat my wife? I feel like Marcus the Cat either goes in people who will inherit the show or my wife, just from the sheer amount of games that we've played together.
I think it's got to be my wife. That's how I feel about Marcus.
I think it's my wife. That Marcus, you're my wife. It's done.
The my wife category is getting quite. It turns out Hunter has many wives.
That's how I feel. Okay, I feel a strong sense of love for many people.
very excited to get into this next one. It is Mate Nathan, who we're gonna lump somebody into Mate Nathan category. Okay, go ahead. And that is Thom, who has been gone for a long time.
Oh yeah,
Thom, the arch Thom of Meme Town. Who I believe Mate Nason has taken the mantle from. It was Brian for a while, but Brian slowed down a little bit. Brian is more like the curator of Meme Town at this point.
Right.
Whereas Mate Nason is the actual arch Thom of Meme Town.
Right. So does that mean, do you even play this game? Or
probably. Now, the thing is, Mate Nason also constantly messages us on Facebook with rules questions. So I know Mate Nason plays a lot, because they're always getting clarifications on rules. But I think they belong in Do You Even Play This Game because of their other non-game contributions are so superfluous. So like there's so many that it's Do You Even Play This Game.
That makes sense. Okay. Next is Milty. I feel like Milty qualifies for Liked Us Before We Were Cool, but also qualifies for people who will inherit the show. In a lot of the same ways that, you know, like Daryl does. This kind of like fundamental structure stuff that Milty adds.
If a fake goal of Space Cats Peace Turtles was to become an official TI podcast, Milty has surpassed us by like being an official or pseudo-official member of developing POK. His name is in the rule book. Like, right. And not just as a special thanks, but like he's credited. He did stuff. He worked for POK.
Right.
He helped make POK.
He's Dane, is what you're saying.
Dane.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Dane tier.
Milty is Dane. Yeah, we don't have a Dane tier though, and I was limited to 5. So what does that mean now?
That's people who will inherit the show. The point is to say that Milty has surpassed the show, and gone on to do even more than
I'm going to put him
ever hope.
At these are only ranked if I feel like it. Within each tier, but I'm gonna put Milty at the top of people who will inherit the show.
Yeah,
he has in some ways already inherited the show,
right?
in a way.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Is he
Yes.
has gone on beyond. He doesn't need to inherit the show anymore. That would be like. Well, I can't think of I can't think of any people with famous inheritances that I want to talk about on a live stream. but it'd be like somebody rich inheriting like more wealth.
Yeah, like can you think of any rich people like in popular culture right now, like maybe really prominent ones?
Yeah.
Recently deplatformed ones. Do you know of anybody? Who could you be talking about?
Moving on. Let's move on.
All right, so Monty is next.
Monty is the easiest one in the world for me.
Oh, really? What is the tier?
I think I know what the challenge would be. You could say my wife, but Monty is firmly like this before we were cool.
Oh, you're right. Yes. Monty does go back. Monty goes
way back. Monty has long been one of my favorite people to play with. We're gonna get to Rolo here later too, but like my games with Monty and Rolo are always my literal favorite games of TI. It's the only time I think like I keep my cool because the two of them are so chill and nice,
very
and
chill,
there to have a good time. That it is obvious even to me that I shouldn't work up a temper when I'm in games with them.
Yeah,
basically.
Yes. That's quite a feat.
Yeah.
All right, so next is my son is also Bort.
Yeah.
Best username.
Right.
Generally pretty good meme content, I've noticed.
Very good.
I think this person's funny.
Yes.
But they are a do you even play this game? Yes. But it's a solid. I mean, the fact that my son is also Bort is at the not Space Kitty but Little Peace Turtles tier, meaning every episode we get to say
their name.
My son is also Bort.
Can't be quantified.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty funny. Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
I'd love to meet Bort someday.
Yeah. All right. So patience is a virtue is our next person. Goes back far enough, I feel like, for like just before we were cool.
Sure, but I think has done enough for the community that
that's true.
People who will inherit the show.
Yeah.
Basically is doing his own show at this point. I mean, literally hosting hosting strategic conversations with people like Duke Lukem and Olo and Seven and Kate and a bunch of people.
Yeah.
So I think Patience is very firmly in the should inherit the show.
Yeah.
Also, our first, what I would call real controversy was because of Patience's original Space Kitty episode. That episode was contentious in how people reacted to it, and I think that's a landmark of the show. And I think changed some dynamics of like how I think about our show. So yeah.
Yeah, I
could be my wife. Sure.
I totally buy that. Yeah. Oh yeah, Patience could be my wife. Patience could be like just before we were cool. Matt would never yell at Patience, and Patience clearly plays the game.
Yeah.
All right, Phil Roy. Yeah. Phil Roy is definitely a people will inherit the show type person, but also a little bit of a do you even play this game to me.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think of it that way, but maybe he belongs more in do you even play this game because. Now, I'll say this much. From the inherit the show side of the argument, Phil Roy is maybe my favorite person to listen talk about the community. Mm-hmm. Phil Roy's episode with Root is my favorite fireside chat.
Right.
With a bullet. I mean, like, it's just such a good conversation, and Phil Roy is such a kind person that they deserve to inherit the show, but I kind of like putting them in do you even play this game because that says a lot.
People in the chat are pointing out that he plays a lot of like learn to play games. I believe that that's the kind of person he is, that he is very he's invested in building the community.
He doesn't play for himself.
Right.
Is the point that it's like when he plays, he's not even playing. He's like getting other people to get to play.
I think this is a people who inherit the show.
Oh, okay. All right. I was leaning more into do you even play this game as a like homage to his contribution on the flip side of it. It's like you never play.
You're going so active and such
an important person, and you don't even play this game? My God, what a
I like it.
What a heart.
It's weird. I like it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Pink could go. There's a couple places Pink could go.
A lot.
Pink the Pink has had a lot of recent, I think, influence on the show. Actually, our pivot away from the Hunter Donaldson fan club and towards a homebrew focused tier definitely has a lot to do with Pink. Actually, Pink,
as Ronderin points out, Pink is in the one confirmed win with Arborek tier. The only confirmed win.
Yes, and I did watch it, and it is on video. However, it was like a 5-player game.
Doesn't matter.
A 3-player game.
Confirmed Arborek win.
Yeah, whatever. Well, no, not whatever, but I don't know. Pink's in on it. Okay, sure. So, I feel like right now, Pink could go in different places depending on where we are at in the scope of the show. I feel like right now I want to put Pink in People Who Will Inherit the Show because of the recent influence over homebrew stuff.
Maybe so. I could see Pink in Like This Before We Were Cool.
Oh, that's also true. It goes back quite a ways with Pink.
It hasn't been this way recently, but Pink at one point was very firmly in a Matt yells at them frequently.
That's also true.
Category.
Man,
I think they graduated from that category.
I think so too.
And just are in People Who Like This Before We Were Cool.
I think that makes sense. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Raptor, another person that has put in a lot of work.
Yeah.
However, it goes back quite a ways. However, we've also put Milty down here, which makes me feel we should put Raptor down here as well, because Raptor is someone that has been adding a lot to the community and also has been around for a long time.
Yeah. But as Root points out, if Raptor doesn't go and People Mad is yelled at, this whole list is a sham.
Oh, that's a good point. Yes. Yeah.
But the problem is I don't want to relegate Raptor's contributions to that, because that doesn't say enough about Raptor.
Right, but you can see that what's happening is we're
trying to even out the tiers.
We're not trying to even them out so much as we're getting, there are some people where it feels obvious they belong in one tier, and we're just bucking that for fun. Yeah, and that's what we did with Philroy a little bit, and that's what we're doing to Raptor right now. So whatever. Yeah. All right, so who's this next person? Oh my God, it's just a generic.
I want to call out, even though we're putting him in People Matt has yelled at, I want to point out Space Lawyer's thing. Raptor, no mod, no Discord, no show. So probably, I think I said this about somebody else earlier, but Raptor is probably the least deserving of me yelling at them, even though I can think of the specific conversations I've yelled at Raptor for and totally deserves it.
Hey, you know what? If I'll put Raptor at the top of People Matt has yelled at.
Yeah.
So I don't even know if that's good or bad, actually.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
So the next is a generic blue Discord username. Who could I be talking about? This is RoboFish, baby. Yeah. And RoboFish liked us before we were cool. And there's that's it. We're done. Yeah. RoboFish is the first.
RoboFish is literally the first fan and liked us before.
Not even. I mean, it's the first bit of interaction. The first bit of this person listened to the show. As far as I'm concerned, they were the first download. That's how I'll think of it.
Yeah. I think
RoboFish was the very first download.
Right. I want to. This is where I would formally lump in Jim Bob.
Sure. Yes.
And some of the folks, basically any of the folks we met at our first Gen Con that were like, we're fans of the show, like people that came up to us at Gen Con 2018, people that came up to at Gen Con 2018 is who I lump into this RoboFish category. I'm thinking Gen Con Joey.
Oh yeah, Gen Con Joey.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of folks that kind of go into this territory.
Yes. Okay. Next, we have Rolo, the Ledgerman of the Cones. Do you remember that Rolo is the Ledgerman of the Cones?
Yeah.
I feel like Rolo is because I don't think that's in Rolo's username anymore.
No, it's not. He graduated from that. He's no longer. He passed on the Ledgerman role to somebody.
But see, I know who the Ledgerman of the Cones is, and it's Rolo.
Correct.
But also Rolo definitely goes far enough back for it to be a liked us before we were cool.
Easily liked us before. I want to set Rolo right next to Monty, basically.
Oh,
Rolo and Monty like in the same.
Yes,
if anything, we should have grabbed somebody else's profile picture to throw them in, and we could have put Rolo and Monty like as a lumped together thing.
Yeah.
But also, they have both been Good Yin Brotherhood members for so long And we've played so many GYB games with them that they're firmly in this category.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
What?
It's time.
Oh, Root. Where are we putting Root? Well, Root's my wife.
Interesting.
Root's my wife.
I mean, I know this is where the tiers are so hard to classify, because it's like, obviously Root will inherit the show. Like,
well, sure.
Maybe that's why he doesn't belong in there, because it's like, well, that's contractual. Like, that's already down on paper.
But Root's also, I feel like I have sent Root many, you up, I'm playing TI, will you come play? Root has played with me just because I needed someone to play with, not even because Root wanted to, just like as a...
Very actively didn't want to play.
Right.
Start to finish.
What's more my wife
Yeah.
than hanging out with me even when you don't feel like it? You know what I mean? That's something only your partner does with
Farganess. Yeah. In between Fargo and Imson.
Yeah. Yeah, I like this. This is where Root belongs. There you go, Root. Love you, Root. All right.
Another one that might be in that, R-Wise.
R-Wise is kind of a villain for me personally. Not my wife. R-Wise is not my wife. R-Wise is the jokester of TI. And by that I mean the Joker.
Is maybe my favorite player to play with.
Yeah. R-Wise is great.
I think R-Wise might be my Magi.
Oh yeah? You're big R-Wise fan?
Yeah.
You got your R-Wise gear? I will say this though, what tier does R-Wise go in? Because I just said not my wife. We don't go far back enough, I think, for a liked us before we were cool. Although maybe actually,
so
do we have early R-Wise errata, like pre-Discord?
R-Wise errata. I mean, we just, that's got to be a thing. I don't know. I might have to do some digging here.
You don't yell at him. R-Wise definitely plays.
No,
probably not.
R-Wise is there to talk me down when I'm yelling at myself.
Yeah, that's a good point. R-Wise is funny, and I'm pretty sure we go far back enough. I'm
searching our Google Drive right now for mentions of R-Wise and seeing how far back it goes. It looks like the earliest mention, I know, maybe, is like episode. Wow, not even that far back. Is really just part of the tournament stuff, like episode 125. I don't have any like specifically listed errata. 120, 116. What is this? I know. My baby's sad.
I do have a Jahan. I still have my Jahan beer dispenser helmet. That's a thing that exists. All right, so this next user pick, this is Sean.
Where did we put R-Wise? Where did we put him?
I put R-Wise in like just before we were cool. Because I'm pretty sure it does go far back enough. I think that's fair.
Probably correct.
Also, we gotta finish this up. So Sean is next. Sean goes here. This is Sean's user
pick. I don't even
pick.
Want to talk about it.
Yeah, we're not even going to talk about it, but that's where Sean goes. Because I mean, he's definitely. I mean, you yelled at him right in his face. We all saw it. We all saw it. So
listen, my dad has yelled at Sean.
Your dad's yelled at me. Because he used to hate when I would come over and I would laugh too loud, and he didn't like that, so he would yell at me, or he'd just tell you to tell me that annoyed him.
Matt, come here. What? Tell Hunter to shut the hell up. He's laughing too loud.
Okay, Son of Leto is next. I feel Leto definitely goes far back enough for a like this before.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Leto's been around a while.
Yeah, for sure. Space Lawyer. Yeah, I feel like people will inherit the show. Space Lawyer is literally our eye in the sky. He's our Chopper Dave. If you like Chopper, do you know what I'm talking about? C Lab 2021. Do we got any C Lab 2021 fans? Chopper Dave. He goes, oh, and then he crashes. That's what Chopper Dave does. Space Lawyer is the Chopper Dave of Twilight Imperium. There you go. Look up C Lab 2021 because it is now 2021. So it's time to watch that show. All right, TG Welch. Definitely some My Wife vibes. Definitely some Liked Us Before We Were Cool vibes. What do we think? Probably nothing else. You don't yell at him. No. He definitely plays.
I think TG Welch is my wife.
My wife. I put them right. I always feel like I play with Mantis and TG Welch together at the same time.
Yeah.
So I'll put them right by Mantis. Defterist, for sure, to me, someone who will inherit the show. Defterist is
like I want Defterist and Patience to have a podcast. I feel like is where I'm at.
Yes. I'd love
to run tournaments in general.
Yes. Okay, Topher. This is somebody I've been playing with a lot in the Bubba Cool's Chill Zone, formerly the GYB. This is Topher, and Topher is my wife. I'm getting wife vibes. Yeah. We'll see how things turn out, but like I'm preliminary wife.
You said wife vibes, and it sounded like you said Wi-Fi's.
Okay, Tristan. Ooh,
Tristan's an interesting one.
Yeah,
so Tristan.
Yeah,
Tristan is the first root guide I ever read. So Tristan is like a major contribution to how I learned to play root.
Yeah.
Tristan also built the TI First Edition mod,
right?
Which is a huge undertaking,
which we played
because of how ridiculous that game is.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know where to put them. Tristan is a maybe. Do you even play this game?
Yeah, I actually feel like yeah, I'm good with do you even play this game for Tristan. Although it probably should be people who inherit the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could see inherit the show. I could see inherit the root show.
Yeah, I think this is actually correct.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Now we have this is what is this yellow anonymous one? This is Vision S's husband.
Yeah, Jahan. Yep. What I'm wondering is how much. It's funny that we have these two listed separately because they do have different styles of contributions.
Oh yeah. Vision S is clearly people who will inherit the show.
Yes.
Vision S's husband, nah. Not that type.
You don't think he'll inherit the show with her?
No, I think I kind of want to put Vision S's husband in a my wife category because I haven't played with Jahan in a while, but there was a period where we were going to go head to head in a tournament setting, and I was thinking about Jahan a lot outside of playing, and Jahan bested me. But this was maybe we should pick this up again as like kind of a ongoing rivalry story. So I feel a sense of rivalry that I would almost define as wife-like.
And you have many times said there's a you up quality, and Jahan you ups me all the time.
Yeah,
I get direct messages that are like, "Hey, we need to talk through this Muat opening strategy I'm thinking about."
Yeah.
So Jahan is very firmly my wife. That's easy for me.
Yes. And Vision S, of course, all the contributions with the moderating last year, unparalleled. Vision S moderated so much of that. Literally, the tournament would not have happened.
So many of our own games too. Is doing it all really already.
Right. All right. Last is Zendog, who I think goes in like just before we were cool. I feel like it goes back far enough, but I'm not 100%. Also, I feel like I'm kind of running out of gas, and we have another thing coming up pretty soon.
Two other games.
But hey, you rule, Zendog. Actually, you know what? I will say this, and now I remember something about Zendog. Zendog was somebody that, well, this is actually going to sound like a not very great story, but I just remember Zendog was one of the first people that, when we started the tournament, people were like, "Oh, you should watch out for this Zendog guy.
Oh,
he's really good." And then it didn't. I remember something happened, like his prelims game didn't go right or something. I don't know, like something messed up. But I remember it was one of the first times I had the experience of someone in the community just telling me that another player was good, and I didn't know already. So it was kind of like, oh, okay, this is interesting.
You know who I'll lump into this category? There's a few people that need to get special mentions. The Zendog special mentions are people like Snorcerer.
Oh,
also, a legendary play. Like, oh, you look out for Snorcerer. Seven belongs here.
Right.
You could say Olo belongs here.
Seven.
We don't have much interaction with Olo, but everybody talks about Olo as a player.
That's true. Yeah, some people have reputations that just, and obviously we ourselves have dabbled in inflating other people's reputations, like Magi and stuff.
Right.
which is great. We love to do that. Magi's the best TI player of all time. Magi's at the top, and I just delete everybody else. That would be funny. Okay, we did this. It was weird.
We have to do everybody. So everybody else, there's another tier that is everybody else, and you all go in that.
Yes. So anyone not mentioned goes in the other tier, which is the everybody else tier, which honestly, a lot of great people in that because we did not have time to literally talk about every single player. But here are 50 with some honorable mentions, and and what a fun day. What a great community. I love you all so much. You're all my wife, really. I mean, at the end of the day, that's really where everybody belongs in this community. Is my wife. Which I'm now tired of saying. Yeah, we're probably going to step away for a little bit, but in 40 minutes, we have the first game of our Root tournament. Yes, yes.
So please come hang out with that. There's going to be some fun stuff in it. Some cool revelations of what just how cool this tournament is going to be. Some prize support and some everything else. I don't know. I'm excited to actually have this tournament start because it's a cool start to the year.
Yes, and start to our always working. All work, no play.
Online.
Yes. All right. Well, see everybody in about 40 minutes. Bye-bye. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for hanging out.